So, just some quick thoughts about some of that comments I'm seeing on Reddit about the dead Russian soldiers. I think it's pretty awful to celebrate the dead Russian conscripts. And just to be completely clear, I'm completely against Putin. I'm 100% on Ukraine's side, and I'm not blaming Ukrainians for defending themselves. They're being attacked by their enemy, so they're shooting back, of course. But there's really, I don't like some comments are very unsympathetic towards, these 18-year-old Russian teenagers who have been forced into the war, or they've been tricked into the war. They were lied to. There were even reports of them being beaten physically, and their families being threatened. And, people saying things like, I've seen comments saying all Russian soldiers are evil, even the conscripts are evil, when there's a story about a Ukrainian, child being killed in an airstrike. And that's just I mean, of course, it's tragic what's happening in the Ukraine, so I understand why there's anger. But the reality is, the vast majority of conscripts don't want to be there. My guess is most of them haven't even fired their weapon, and if they're ordered to shoot, a lot of them are probably intentionally, trying to linger in the back or shooting and missing on purpose, which was actually very common in World War II. A lot of American soldiers said they tried to fire their gun as little as possible because they didn't want to kill anybody. And then comments saying, "Oh, well, they're cowards for." One comment was even saying, and I might make a video where I put some of these comments together, saying, "Oh, well, all they do is they run away from their convoys like cowards." Well, what do you want them to do? Sit there and wait to get fried by a missile? Or somehow revolt against their commanders. It's just not that simple. It's just not like that. These kids are confused, they're scared, they have no idea what's going on, and the Ukrainians are shooting at them. And again, I'm not blaming the Ukrainians for shooting at them, but put yourself in those shoes. It's very easy to go on your laptop and say, well, if I was a soldier, I would, organize a revolt against the commanders. No, you wouldn't, actually. You wouldn't do that. And there's also an element of gender here too. Male disposability and the lack of male empathy, what MRAs call the empathy gap, I think is in full display here. Because imagine this, imagine if Russia also conscripted girls. And I'm going to say girls because I said boys, because some of these kids are like 18, 19 years old, and force them into fighting. I bet you people would be much less likely to say things like, oh, all conscripts are evil, if there were pictures of dead 18-year-old girls who were blown up after being sent to fight against their will. There's a different level of empathy we have towards males and females under identical circumstances. So it just, to me, kind of reinforces the male disposability aspect. We look at the death of teenage boys as either a statistic or something good, something to be celebrated, which I just really didn't like that. I thought some of those comments were very ugly. So I might make a compilation of those um, kinds of comments. And of course, I am seeing a lot of support for the conscripts. I am seeing a lot of people express their sympathies. They understand the situation that it's in. So just to make it clear, I'm pro-Ukraine. I'm very much against Putin. I think Putin is evil. I think Putin is a murderer. But that's kind of my thoughts on that.